Hey guys, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool. Today, we are talking shop. As always, a huge thank you for your constant support with Quest Helper, a series all about the fun and creativity of D&D for veterans and newcomers alike. And if that sounds fun to you, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, like button, and leave a comment about your favorite part of the video. And let's not waste any more time and get right on into it. Shops are an integral part of any D&D campaign. Players, you're going to be going in, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your armors and shields, making sure that your holy symbols polished by the local church, and hey, you're probably going to get a good meal and a pint right after that successful quest where you've slayed the dragon and saved the town, because that's what you do in D&D. DMs, we have a bit more of a job ahead of us, which comes to designing the shop. Sometimes it's designing the layout physically on a map, and sometimes it's designing what's actually inside the shop, who runs it, how it's run, and what it actually has within it. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about map layouts, how I make map layouts, and when I typically use them, because in all reality, a lot of times, Theater of the Mind works perfectly as well. Theater of the Mind is exactly what it sounds like. You, as a DM, are going to paint this beautiful word picture, or maybe just a normal word picture, and your players will imagine it and then react to it. Now, here's the best part about painting a word picture. No matter how in detail you go, it works 90% of the time for 90% of your situations, because your players are going to be extremely imaginative. I want to give you an example by painting you a word picture myself. You have reaped the rewards of your latest quest and have decided to go spend that hard-earned dosh on upgrading your equipment. Now, the townsfolk have been implying there's a very unique and interesting shop on the outskirts of town. It doesn't even have a sign in front of it, rather it just has a sigil carved into the door frame that is relatively hard to see. But one day you're passing by and you happen to see the sigil and you decide, hey, let's go check out the shop, I want to see what people are talking about. And as you walk on in, you see on your left-hand side, there is a countertop with a young gnome behind it counting out all the money they've made from their recent sales. It seems that they've actually brought in quite a bit of profit. In the middle of the room, you see several tables covered in magical components. Anything from animal hair and fur to vials of dragon's blood, and of course, newts and eyes of newts and herbs and gems and all these crazy things that you can't immediately tell all apart without seriously giving it an investigation. And on the sides of the walls, you see magical goods galore. Not magical items like swords and shields, but rather scrolls, inkwells, and parchment, and staves, and staves, and wands, and rings, and crowns, and cloaks. This shop is filled with a load of magical goods, but you could easily tell there isn't much in terms of adventure utility here. I had a lot of fun with that description, and if you did too, you probably imagined more than I said. As an example, you might have imagined what the gnome looks like and what their counter looks like with their cash register. You might have imagined those tables in the center of the room, how they were organized, how the items on top of them were organized. Were they encased in glass? You might have imagined the staves and walls filled with different items that I probably couldn't even think about. You might have imagined vines growing down in front of the windows, blocking out the sunlight. Whatever is in your mind, whatever is in the theater of your mind is pretty much canon and enhances your immersion into the world. So once again, 90% of the time, Theater of the Mind is perfect for anything you need to do. That being said, if you want to make layouts for your stores, for your guild halls, for your churches, whatever they are, go for it. I'm actually going to provide two for you guys and tell you how I make them using a website called Dungeon Map Doodler. There's going to be a link down below, and I use it consistently. Now, I'm not amazing at using this website, but I do have a lot of fun experimenting with the features and understanding what I can do to actually make it look really cool. And with some experimenting, I was able to come with some basic shops like this. This is a 3-room shop, and in reality, I would only have the players interact with room 1. But you can clearly see what's going on around here. There's an entryway to room 1. Room 1 opens up to room 2 on 2 occasions, and room 3 is on its own. What does it all mean though? that's up to me to describe. I could tell you simply that room 1 is a showroom with a counter right on over there that has the employee standing behind it. And all throughout this area, you have a load of items to buy from. And honestly, that's a very simple and easy explanation that most players are going to be able to interact with in a very personal level. I spent a little more time on this website to learn how to use their stickers reliably. And I messed up a bunch, but I was still able to make this using the stickers on the website. It's the same 3 rooms with a little bit more flourish and decoration. Room 1 is clearly a showroom, room 2 seems to be a workshop or utility room for people who live and work there, and room 3 seems to be either a worker's rest area or perhaps the bedroom of the shop owner. And now I've given this place a little bit more life, but I've actually used a lot more time to really decorate this area on my map. And if I was running a weekly session, I wouldn't make too many of these personally, primarily because it took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours to really get the base map and all this flourish done, when the base map took me like 10 to 15 minutes in reality. So it depends on your current situation on whether or not you really want to go in depth into doing something like this. On the other hand, there is another way to add in a little bit more detail without putting in so much time. The next room I'm going to show you is the bottom floor of a tavern. Now it's very simple. There's a big room, there is the counter behind it, and then there is a room behind there that the players cannot enter so they don't know what's actually back there. And of course, stairs on the very top of the map. Nice and simple to do, and in all reality serves the purpose of saying here's the general layout of the actual tavern. But let's spice it up a little bit without taking hours to make the map in its entirety. This was a 2-part process. I made the map on the website, I downloaded it, and then I used an art program to color it in. It's very simple, but now you kind of understand what's going on and what spaces are already taken up that you cannot use as a player. Those orange-brown areas, that's bar seating. For people who want to sit at the bar, you go there, take a seat, and order your pint of ale, right? Those green squares over there, they're actually tables where you could be served food and be met by a waitress or a stewardess who's going to make sure that your needs are taken care of. That blue area on the top right-hand corner, that's where the bard plays. That red area on the bottom right-hand corner, that's actually the quest board. The light blue area behind the bar, that's going to be where the servers work. This is a play area that no one's allowed to go in unless you're working there. And that dark blue area in the very far back, kitchen, freezer, etc., whatever you want to do to have fun with it. Long and short of it, I made a pretty in-depth map here without even having to go excessively in-depth with the decorations. My players know that they can sit at any of these green tables, they know where to get their quest, they know where the bard's playing, and they know where the bar is in case they want to get themselves a pint of celebratory ale. Rule number 1, always have fun. Whether it be using the theater of the mind, a pre-made storefront that you found online, or making your own via Dungeon Map Doodler and other fancy editing softwares, always have fun. Don't feel forced to go into any specific way, shape, and or form. And hopefully I was able to provide you guys a few bits of insights on how you could actually present your store to your players without necessarily going over the top and with using relatively easy access resources that are available to anyone. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, yada yada, and tell me what your favorite part of it was. What kind of shop would you make, and are you planning on messing around with Dungeon Map Doodler? Tell me down below in the comments, and I had a blast today, guys, and I'm ready to get back to making more Quest Helper videos. COVID tried to take me down, and it didn't take me down, so we are going full force into the next few weeks. Y'all stay safe, and stay Botanist Cool. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.